case that even the vice president has weighed in on. That Stanford University sexual assault sparked a reaction and growing outrage on all sides. Now, new details today about that fateful night and the plea the mother made for her son to the judge, now under fire for what has widely been criticized as a lenient sentence. ABC's Matt Gutman has the latest.
Tonight, new documents in the Stanford sexual assault case where swimmer Brock Turner was convicted of sexually assaulting a woman while she lay unconscious behind a dumpster, casting new light on the multiple lives shattered that night. The sister of the victim writing to the judge before sentencing, "My message to Brock Turner is that the damage you inflicted is irreversible." She says she was at the party that night with her sister. In the initial police report, recalling a guy who was weird because he was aggressive. But there is another family in this case, Brock Turner's. Today we're finding out the words his mother wrote to the judge who would decide her son's sentence. "I know what a broken heart feels like. It is a physical pain that starts just below the collarbone and extends below the rib cage. It is a crushing and heavy ache. This verdict has destroyed us." And her prophetic message of fear that he would be a target, a Stanford boy, collegiate athlete. All the publicity would be a death sentence. According to his mother, Turner had been swimming competitively since he was 4. He was an Olympic hopeful at Stanford. Today, USA Swimming banned him for life.
And I think that what this case is making everyone think about is, boys from nice families from Dayton, Ohio can do these things, and what are we going to do about that?
Not mentioned once in his mother's letter, the victim. Has he ever apologized?
He has not apologized for sexually assaulting her.
Has he ever taken responsibility for this?
He has apologized for drinking, and he's made some apologies for how she feels.
Turner insisted throughout his defense that the victim consented to the encounter.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Turner was sentenced to 6 months in jail, but will serve only 3. When he gets out in early September, he'll have to register as a sex offender, as his mother says in her letter, on the same level as a pedophile/child molester. The assistant DA told me it's with good reason. Given what you know about him now, are you concerned that he might do something like this again?
I don't know. I think that these types of crimes require registration because we know that they're repeat offenses usually.
The documents released today show just how much alcohol had to do with the tragic events that January night in 2015. Brock Turner telling police he had about 7 cans of beer and some whiskey. And while he wasn't blacked out, as the victim reportedly was, he said he never got her name and probably would not be able to recognize victim if he saw her again. Graduate students Carl Frederick Arndt and Peter Johnson were riding their bikes and stopped when they saw 2 people on the ground near a dumpster.
She wasn't moving.
And the man on top of her was?
Yeah. Or my friend said, what are you doing? But he later said, I didn't do anything, etc. when he was lying down on the ground, for example. And it tried to seem like nothing happened, essentially.
According to Arndt, when Turner made a run for it, he and Johnson ran after him, pinning him to the ground.
Then I was over there, helped him to restrain him until the police came.
When you saw her lying there on the ground, was it pretty obvious what had happened?
Yeah. I mean, she was half naked, so yeah.
After the sentencing,
Sir,
the judge who gave Turner that 6-month sentence, Aaron Persky, is coming under fire.
The judge is basically saying, it doesn't matter what your past actions were, just don't do it again.
I don't think 6 months was nearly enough.
A petition to remove the judge with 1 million signatures was delivered to the courthouse today.
I think that is an appropriate action in this case. I think the judge has failed to live up to his duties as a member of the California judiciary.
And some jurors mutinying, refusing to serve in his courtroom. Gary Goodman, a public defender with the Santa Clara County Public Defender's Office, says Persky and his family have received threats over the phone.
Can you just give me a sense of what is being said in these calls?
They're threatening, they use a lot of profanity, they hope that he dies, they hope that his kids get raped, things of that nature.
Since last week, the victim's impact letter has gotten over 15 million views on BuzzFeed alone.
We just don't hear these kinds of accounts from survivors.
The actresses from HBO's Girls releasing this PSA dedicated to the survivor in the Stanford case.
she is someone.
She is someone.
Even the vice president drawn in, Joe Biden writing his own letter saying, "I do not know your name, but your words are forever seared on my soul." Those are words that have stoked national outrage, as Biden put it, about our college campuses where 1 in 5 women is sexually assaulted. For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Los Angeles.